Louisville has looked every bit of the #1 overall seed in this year's NCAA tournament. Now they move on to face Oregon. I'm Tom Vandervoort alongside Mike DeCourcy, our college basketball writer. We're courtside at Dayton and breaking down each and every game of this year's NCAA tournament, thanks to UPS and the UPS Team Performance Index. So what do you think, Mike? I mean, Louisville looks pretty good, but Oregon certainly outperformed their seed.
What was interesting about the Oregon game against St. Louis was that Oregon played Louisville's game. So what we know is that if St. Louis had managed to get through and played Louisville, Louisville would have crushed them. I mean, what Oregon did was that they played a soft press and they dropped back into a 2-3 zone, and St. Louis couldn't do anything with it. I'm kind of surprised that no one in the Atlantic 10 maybe tried that, because no one could stop them in the league, but it worked very well for Oregon. What Oregon showed again in this tournament, the most underrated element of this tournament, of doing well in this tournament, is size. Everybody talks about guard play. I remember Denny Crum.
That is the cliche.
Oh
certainly.
Yeah, Denny Crum. When I covered him, used to talk about it so much that he kind of made it the cliche. It was like he's the guy, and it's very important. But you have to have big guys, and they have Tony Woods and they have Arsalan Kazemi, and it'll make a difference against Louisville. It'll give them a chance. I think in the end, Louisville's pressure defense, again, they can do whatever they want with it. Against the weaker teams like a Colorado State, didn't have a great point guard, they're going to slap it on you, they're going to make it hurt, they're going to take the ball away from you, they're going to make you look bad, which is exactly what they did to Colorado State. So they will assess early. How is Dominic Artis? What kind of point guard is he? Can he handle it? His backups, the other guards, how do they handle it? And then they'll decide, do they want to play it into the 2-3 zone mostly, or do they want to put it on and just end the game? And that's what they'll decide. I think they'll find that they can get the ball. And so I don't think they'll use it as much as they did against Colorado State, but I think they'll do it enough that they get some distance and then just finish it off.
You know, it's interesting, as I look down at my Team Performance Index numbers, it tells me that Oregon's a pretty good rebounding team. You talked about size. Colorado State was a better rebounding team according to the numbers, and obviously Louisville handled Colton Iverson and those guys pretty easily.
Yeah, that's Gorgui Dieng. Gorgui Dieng did an unbelievable number on Colton Iverson, who is a fine college basketball player and had a great year, but he couldn't do anything. Gorgui Dieng's quickness in the post, I think he's the most underrated player in this tournament. I think he's terrific, and I think he's one of, I really think, other than Patino, I think he's the biggest reason they are where they are, but nobody's talking about him. I think that people have to realize this is a great player. Tony Woods is not going to have a day. Kazemi might have a chance. I think you'll see a lot of Montrezl Harrell for Louisville, because he gives them that size and that explosiveness. Shane Behan is a very good player, but you're seeing, as you get into these matchups with guys like Kazemi, would you rather have a 6'5" guy going against him, or would you rather have Harrell playing over the rim at 6'9"? I think that's what we're seeing.
Right, and finally, talk about the confidence that Louisville has. I feel like I've been nowhere near them. I can feel it radiating and hitting me.
It's absolutely true. They are the most together team in the tournament. I wrote a column about that at sportingnews.com. The perfect example, the two guys I just talked about, Harrell and Behanan, at the Big East tournament, what you saw, Harrell, that was when he had his breakout game. He had a 20-point game. He took almost all the minutes in the second half. And on the bench, instead of pouting over the fact that he's losing his big moment in the sun, you have Shane Behanan leading the cheers, end the game, goes over and gives Harrell a hug. That's college basketball. That's team chemistry. That's why Louisville right now is the best team in America.
Certainly looks that way, but they will have their hands full with Oregon. For Mike DeCourcy, I'm Tom Vandervoort. Thanks again to UPS for bringing it all to you. We'll see you next time.